बात हुई, बैठक में क्या बात?
All right, so that's the first up reaction coming in from Narendra Singh Tomar ahead of the talks with the farmers. Agricultural Minister speaks up. He says hopeful of a resolution today. So he hopes that a plausible resolution will come out of this crucial meeting that is taking place between the farmers and the centre. He's expressing confidence. In fact, if we can, let's listen. Okay, let's listen into him once again. It's a very crucial reaction coming in from the Agricultural Minister. Let's play that out for you.
भारत सरकार किसानों से लगातार चर्चा कर रही है और मुझे आशा है कि चर्चा के सकारात्मक परिणाम निकलेंगे।
तो क्या किसान कह रहे हैं कि तीनों कानून जो हो वो वापस हो, उसके बीच का भी कोई रास्ता है?
देखिए, जब चर्चा होगी, चर्चा में क्या रास्ते निकलते हैं ये चर्चा पर निर्भर करेगा। पहले से थोड़ी भविष्यवाणी की जा सकती है।
सर, आपको लग रहा है सॉल्यूशन कुछ न कुछ निकल जाएगा कहीं तो, और आप बात आगे बढ़ेगी? आज
नहीं, स्वाभाविक रूप से आज चौथे चरण की चर्चा है और मुझे लगता है इसका सकारात्मक पक्ष ठीक निकलेगा।
Rahul Srivastava still with us. Rahul, you heard the Agricultural Minister right there going on to express confidence. He hopes that a plausible resolution is going to be achieved in this particular meeting. But with the kind of demands that have been put forth by the farmers and the government trying to allay the fears as well, do you see realistically a plausible solution is going to be on the cards today?
Chetty, negotiations have and the government does have deep pockets in terms of offers and solutions. It is largely up to the government because the farmers have raised their protest to a certain level. For them to go back on any piecemeal solution or something which is half-baked may not be more tangible as far as a response to the farmers who they have brought here is concerned. And that is why it's a very tense meeting. 40 of these unions have been brought in. If my camera colleague, as I was showing you earlier, Ajay Thakur, can pan the camera and show you, there were farmers who were brought in 2 buses to the Vigyan Bhavan, which is it's a kind of the government is laying out a bit of a carpet for these farmer unions. That's trying to tell them that you are important to us. That's kind of a softening that the government is trying. You can see there is a large police barricade. In fact, the road which passes, the Maulana Azad road on which the Vigyan Bhavan is situated, has been shut down largely for any regular traffic. The police is trying to ensure that no farm protests take place here. In that kind of atmosphere, the government is attempting to, one, keep the engagement on, provide something tangible. One interesting element which we noticed that today when when Rakesh Tikait, the BKU leader, came for this meeting, he said that we are not opposing the 3 farm bills. We are not saying that the MSP is being abolished. We are saying that the MSP should not be added as in the statute, but an assurance can be added that the MSP will be provided to the farmers so that they are not exploited by the sharks and vultures of the procurement system, especially from the private sector, once these farm bills come into play. That is a slightly more nuanced element which seems to have come in as far as the protesters are concerned. Now, what happens inside? Will the farmers unite together and say no, farm bills should be rolled back, and the government will say no, we cannot? I think that's what is the beauty of negotiations, that the government can find via media, use the various pressure points in the meeting, offer tangible solutions like the penalty on stubble burning and all to be withdrawn, so that the farm unions remain engaged. They can tell the protesting farmers that yes, there are certain positive outcomes coming out of the meeting, and I think the government will like to move on that. From the government, if I have talked to several officials and others, right now there are no one insta-fix solutions as far as the government is concerned. The government is in a bit of a wait and watch, keep them engaged mode.
Rahul, continue to stay with us right there. Let me also play up the interview that you have done with Rakesh Tikait, the Bharatiya Kisan Union leader. Let's listen in to that exclusive interview done by my colleague Rahul Srivastava with him.
नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जी जो एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर ने कहा कि एमएसपी कभी कानून का हिस्सा नहीं रही, लेकिन अगर आश्वासन देती है सरकार लिखित रूप से सरकार की तरफ से कि एमएसपी नहीं हटेगी, तो आप लोग क्या कहेंगे?
देखो, हम कहाँ कह रहे कि एमएसपी हट रही, हमने कहा कि एमएसपी से नीचे खरीदना हो वो कानून बन जाए। भाई व्यापारी किसानों को लूटता है, एक मापदंड तो हो ना, एक पैरामीटर्स हो जाए कि इसके नीचे पर खरीद नहीं होगी। हम कहाँ कह रहे हैं एमएसपी हट रही है। जितना सरकार को प्रोक्योरमेंट करना है, जो खरीद करनी है, सरकार उतनी।
तो आप ये नहीं कह रहे हैं कि इन कानून को वापस करो?
कह रहे कि कानूनों में संशोधन हो जाए, वापसी हो जाए, फिर बैठ के बातचीत हो जाएगी, नया पॉलिसी बननी होगी, बन जाएगी। कि नया ड्राफ्ट आ जाए कोई तो सब लोग बैठ के उसमें चर्चा कर लेंगे, आ जाएगा ड्राफ्ट।
तो यानी अगर आज एश्योरेंस देती है सरकार की एमएसपी से नीचे
इंश्योरेंस लिखित
में चाहे सरकार दे।
Taking this straight across to Rahul Srivastava. Rahul, in case there is no plausible solution that comes out of this very crucial meeting, what is the stance of the farmers at the moment?
See, the farmer unions have a compulsions. They have brought farmers here. They have said that they will ensure through the protest that the farm rules will be taken back, MSP will be kept intact, mandis will remain alive. And that was despite the assurances from the government. I was trying to tell you earlier that some months ago, when Akali Dal was with the government, at that time, the agriculture minister was taken for a press conference to Punjab, and in that the minister had issued a statement and a letter also that the MSP will not disappear. Despite that, the farmers are out protesting, means they have their own fears. And in fact, the Swadeshi Jagran Manch and the Bharatiya Kisan Union, which are Sangh affiliates and siblings of the BJP in the Sangh Parivar, have also come out and said that in case farmers go to the private sector players, large companies like Cargill and others can actually form cartels and exploit the farmers as far as prices are concerned, that they also want certain amount of amendments. And that is why somewhere the government has to allay these fears of the farmers and the farm unions, because eventually the farmers are the practitioners of the art of agriculture. If they are not convinced about a law, then the law's efficacy goes down. And if MSP has been there in the country, Punjab is a good case scenario. Go to UP and Bihar. Bihar, barely 20% of the agriculture produce invites MSP. Farmers have to fall to the ways and mechanism of the sharks there. And that is why the farmers are wary, because a new system is coming. They were not communicated very well, it seems, that the old system will not be abolished. And that is why the meeting is very critical, when all the farmer objections will be taken up, point by point, explanations will be made. But will that be sufficient is the key. Will assurance, written assurance by the government that MSP will not be enough? I think a lot will depend on government's negotiation skills.
Right, let's take this straight across to Anand as well. Anand, at the moment, where do things stand? Have the meetings begun?
Well, yes, Captain Narendra Singh is inside Home Minister's residence, and the meeting has begun, we are told. This is very significant, Chaiti, as I was telling you. Captain Narendra Singh, Chief Minister of Punjab, most of the protesters who are spearheading this agitation are from Punjab. The 32 farmer organizations which the government is trying to negotiate with are from Punjab. So it's very significant that both these meetings are happening simultaneously. Remember, in the last meeting when the government negotiators led by Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar met the farmers, it ended in a deadlock. And since then, not much has moved for the government. And now, if the Captain Narendra Singh meets the Home Minister, with whom the Agriculture Minister and Commerce Minister have just met, it assumes a lot of significance. It seems that the government is clearly trying to break this deadlock somehow and trying to use the services of Captain Narendra Singh as well, who's been seeking time from Home Minister for quite some time, ever since the farmers were sitting on railway tracks in Punjab. But now today, the Home Minister has called him to Delhi, and the meeting is on. So it's very important that the Chief Minister is meeting Home Minister, because he is the one who's close to these farmers' cause. He is the one who's facing the fury of the farmers for almost a month now. So clearly, the government feels that if Captain Narendra Singh can be taken into confidence and some kind of a leeway is provided to the farmers, at least for now, this deadlock can be broken and this agitation can be watered down to a certain level, so that the siege of NCR is avoided at this point in time and further talks are made available to the farmers. So all these possibilities are being, looked into. What happened behind the curtains, what kind of a word the Union Minister, Agriculture and Commerce Minister got from the Home Minister and went to the Vigyan Bhavan, where the meeting is going to take place with the farmers, is yet to be known. But yes, the kind of sentiments which are coming out from the government side is that they are in an accommodative mode. They are not being arrogant. That is the signal which the government is trying to send to the farmers, that they are ready to talk this out.
All right, I just want to draw the viewers' attention to the visuals that are flashing across your screens at the moment. These are live visuals that are coming in from Vigyan Bhavan at the moment. We're still trying to get a closer look as to who's in the car. He's with a mask on, but if I'm not mistaken, that is Piyush Goyal in the car. I could be wrong because he's got his mask on right there. We'll clarify that in just about a bit, but a lot of action taking place at Vigyan Bhavan. Taking this across to Rahul Srivastav is here. Well, Rahul, what's your fear at this point of time? If there is rigid intransigence on the part of the agitating farmers that continues, what happens then?
Chetty, there are two sets of fears which have gone inside the meeting. One are the fears of the farmers that the 3 farm bills will destroy their economy and what is their cultural heritage as far as agriculture is concerned. The second fear is of the government that if no solution is arrived at as quickly as possible, then the farm protests which are already happening may escalate and they may spread all across the country and take a pan-India character. Last time around, we saw that as far as the land acquisition bill of the Modi government was concerned, it took a very strong anti-farmer perception became very clear, and after that the government had to go on the back foot. Such is the might of the farm sector in this country. They may have been ignored by the governments, the corrupt system may exploit them, but they as an electoral and demographic entity dictate the politics and policies of this government.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.